This is Joan Jerkovich coming to you from News Radio 1150 KSAL as your life coach. And I want to start out talking to you about the top 10 secrets of effective liars, because coming up, I'm going to be talking to that woman whose pastor lied to her. Now, this article was written by a Jeff Weiss, and not as an intention for you to learn how to be a better liar, but how to detect lying in others. And this was a fascinating article that he put up, because he talks about the idea of manipulating expectations of those around us, i.e. lying, is key to survival in social animals like ourselves. In fact, in a 1999 study by psychologist Robert Feldman at the University of Massachusetts, it was shown that the most popular kids in school were also the most effective liars. That really kind of surprised me. But here are what he calls his top 10 techniques that top-notch liars use to maximize their effectiveness. Number 1, they have to have a reason. A funny comment this author wrote about from someone else, a psychologist, Charles Ford, who authored the book Lies, 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 said, "Prisons are filled with bad liars. The good liars are outrunning our HMOs, and dare I say, they're in business and politics as well." Psychologist Ford goes on to say that pathological liars can't stop themselves from lying, so they tell a lot of little lies until they wind up getting caught. So the really good liars are going to be the ones that only lie when they absolutely have to and when they know that there's something they're going to get or gain from lying. The next hallmark of a good liar is that they lay their groundwork, meaning they put their story together and they put it together well. They've worked out all the little details of their story beforehand, and they might practice because practice makes perfect. It's easier to catch someone in a lie the first time they tell it, says another psychologist, Dr. Cynthia Cohen. The next point is that the hardest lies to catch are those which aren't really quite lies. They're sort of telling the truth, but doing it in a way that kind of leaves that false impression. So again, the hallmark of a good liar is that they're very good at just simply misleading us. And a 1990 study of pathological liars done in New York City found that those liars who could actually keep people from asking them follow-up questions were more likely to get away with their lies. Again, misleading us, telling us half-truths is one of the tricks they use. A good liar will know their target. They have the same gift as good communicators. They can get inside your head. They can make the lies seem really credible because they've kind of figured out who you are, what you want to know, what you want to hear. They make a point to know what you know and see things from your perspective to position them better for you to believe in their lies. Another thing they're good at is they keep their facts straight. One of the most problematic things of successful lying, a psychologist Michael Lewis says, is that it's just plain hard work. It's hard to be consistent, have the details down. Sometimes they need to take notes. What typically trips them up is that they end up giving different information to different people, and that's how they get found out. You know about those police interrogations. That's one of the big things. Is the story consistent? Because if it is, it's more likely to be true. Now, here's one of those professionals who has something to say about lying, Sergeant John Yarborough, who's an interrogation expert with the LA Sheriff Department's Homicide Bureau, says that when he's trying to catch a liar, he's going to see how committed they are to what they're telling me. If I accuse them of lying and they're not very committed to the statement they just made, a red flag goes up. Most people feel uncomfortable lying, but really good liars enjoy the process of deceiving other people. They have no shame, no remorse. They get a thrill out of actively deceiving others. It's all a game to them, and I've talked about this regarding sociopaths who are also most likely pathological liars. I call them gamers, and they enjoy the process. Maybe you've heard people say that if people fidget or touch their nose, stutter, break eye contact, have that kind of shifty-eyed look, you can tell they're lying. But that's not always true. A 1999 study of high school students found that many liars don't have any of those signals, and successful liars were better at controlling the nonverbal signals that they give out. They are simply good at lying while appearing completely comfortable and normal doing that. And if you want to question how that happens, go back and look at old footage of Lance Armstrong when he denied for years his drug use. Another hallmark of good liars is that they know when to turn up the pressure. They know when you're getting targeted in on their lies that they're just going to raise the emotional stakes and find some way to manipulate you. This kind of follows in line with that counterattack. When things start getting sort of uncomfortable, what are they going to do? They're going to come at you with aggression and accusations of their own to try to drive you away from the issue at hand. And the final thing they mention is bargaining. When they get caught, they're going to try at their very best to escape the worst scenario by bargaining with you, bargaining their way out of responsibility or blame associated with their lying. Up next, I'm going to talk to the woman whose pastor lied to her, but I'm going to talk to a music producer first. That's here on the Joan Jerkovich Show on News Radio 1150 KSAL.